And welcome back to, I guess, Stream 2 or Part 2 proper of our exploration of the new mechanics in Kerbal Space Program Career 1.0. Let's make sure the game capture is enabled, and it is. But the game's not loaded yet, so if you're not seeing it yet, don't freak out. I gotta temper my enthusiasm because we have been or I have been so gosh darn excited. I played like 15 minutes of this without showing anybody anything. It's amazing that I still have any followers, but alright, man, that new quick loading, holy crud. They really went all out on that optimization. Okay, let's get back stuck into it. Hey there, Valentina. Good to see. Oh, look at this. They give you a little summary. Oh, that's so neat. Okay. Man, that is awesome. I did not know that. Okay, well, here we are back again, and as I recall, we've got to get somebody saved. Merton Esper, how you doing? Merry Kerbmas. And Merry Kerbmas to everybody else in here with me. We got B-Call, M. Follett, Nordum TV. Aaron Knight was in here until recently. Great to have you all here. Awesome. Let's see, what were we doing? Oh yes, we were getting somebody, the loaded Hun Lost Crew rescue ship. Now, I need solar panels on this, but oh, we happen to have 2 spots open. Okay, well, that serves my purpose fantastically. Alright, so let's go ahead and jam-a-lam these on top of here, get 2 of them. We'll just have to make sure our craft is pointed towards the sun at all possible times. And I think we're ready to roll again. Now this craft, it was able to make it. No, I recall, I kind of needed some more thrust. Or was it less thrust? I don't rightly remember. Let's just leave it at that. Hooray! Okay, let's do it. This is what happens when you gotta stop playing for dinner. Okay, so this should be ready to go. Let's go ahead and wait for our craft, or our rescue ship here, or the ship that needs to be rescued, to be in an advantageous position. It should be approaching the space center there. Okay, good. This hasn't shifted around at the path. Dang it, Jebediah! We gotta revert to vehicle assembly and get him out of there. He's like me. He just can't not be a part of Kerbal Space Program. He can't get himself out of the 1.0 hype train. He can't. He's just so eager, and understandably so. Okay, let's roll this around here, and it's about 1/8 of an orbit away, I guess. That's a weird way of putting that. Alright, away we go. Okay. And our drone rescue ship is a way to go. It looks awesome. It's got a little fairing on the top there, so that the probe core is all nice and protected. Wow, things are really going. Things are... the new Aero model, holy moly. We're going to have to do some experimenting with that, perhaps in a later stream. Maybe tomorrow. By maybe tomorrow, I mean definitely tomorrow. And get rid of that. And we nudge it over towards the east ever so slightly. You can't really maneuver this thing when it's going so fast, so low, but that's okay. It's not meant to go that fast. Okay. Good. Yeah, this is actually going very well. This launch. Hopefully we'll be able to get a much cleaner rendezvous this time. I must have been a little bit too excited and a little bit too hungry earlier. Or maybe I'm just getting a little bit better practice at it, he says before his rocket flips out and kills everyone. But I think we're getting it. Man, it is tough as tanuki suits to get this thing into orbit now. I like it. Launching things into orbit used to be so routine. I guess it still is, but you know. Now we've got... It's like a whole brand new game. It's just amazing. JGX03, welcome! I'm not even looking at my benchmarks to see if this is a decent launch or not. We went a little bit too high. Should have been a little bit more aggressive than the turn there. That's okay. We can always turn down. Turn it down! Speaking of turning things down, I might even turn down the game volume just a little bit more. That is... There we go. That should hopefully help people hear me through these launches. Okay, so we are getting a nice apoapsis at about 90. And that is good. We want to be able to rendezvous... Let's see, his apoapsis is at 82, so we're still a few kilometers above him. Alright. We've got this. Ah, man, this is going to be great. 87 kilometers, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and start burning at the horizon line, just a little bit below it. Try to level out our altitude gain here. There we go. Now we're just getting our orbital velocity up. Not a problem. Vertical speed's kind of tapering off a little bit. Let's keep that kind of going up a little bit. Okay, looks like we're doing all right. I know I've said that before, but I really feel it this time. We got full power on our probe. Okay, and we let's cut it right now. It's about a 10-kilometer difference, but that's okay. We're not looking for a circular orbit. We're looking for a rendezvous. Let's just kind of burn a little slower to see if we can get something here on the next go-around. It looks like it really wants to get closer. We're just keeping the engine on like 2% here. And yeah, this is working. Alright, that's pretty good for straight off the launch pad rendezvous. 10-kilometer pass. Pretty dang good. Let's turn off the SAS so that the probe, at least the probe isn't doing too much work. Let's see. Now, around here, we can kind of add a maneuver. Let's see if we can get our stuff a little closer. I pin this. Not really. Thought there was a way you could do that. It must only be for planetary stuff. Okay, yeah, we're not going to get much closer than that because this is how the approach is. All right, so what we need to do then is, what we could do. Whoa, okay, keep the. You can drag. Okay, that was the wrong thing to do. Let's go the other way a little bit. We'll just do that approach. Yeah. Not going to get much better than that. Okay. So yeah, we'll just warp around to there. Let's quick save it. Turn off the SAS. Make sure our panels are facing the sun, which they would be. Alright. So let's go ahead and warp out to here. about a minute or so. I love the new auto-warping feature. What an amazing feature. Ranger NJF, hey there. Merry Kerbmas to you. The release of Kerbal Space Program into a proper game. Oh, wonderful. Okay, we ran out of power there for a little bit. But, okay. Time warp complete. Our relative velocity isn't that bad. Let's go ahead and zero it out. That's how you rendezvous, as you get close. And you run, and then you zero out your relative velocity. And, yeah, then you pull that little orange marker over that purple marker there, and bingo bango, we should be heading towards the target. This doesn't really quite represent our actual trajectory here. That's alright. Bango, bango, bongo. That song. Okay, it still wants to put us... We need to be a bit more aggressive with this. I really don't want to go more than 50 meters per second relative to our target. That's probably bad. Let's check our map screen. Okay. Alright, well, we went a little bit faster. At 1.3 kilometers, that's okay. We can jetpack over from that distance. So let's go ahead and, well, let's get ourselves set up, turn off the SAS a little bit, and then warp over there. Man, this warp feature is fantastical. And it warps you at the maximum warp. Till, here we are, and we're ready to null out our speed again. And we are within physics distance, which means we can switch over to Tanton's wreckage over there. And, well, he can jetpack out and we can take him home and get our money to upgrade our thing so that we can rescue that other Weisenheimer Kerbal. Actually, what we need to do is we need to explore the moon. Alright, let's make sure our solar panels are in the sun. Don't want the battery to die while we are out. That's in the sun enough. Okay, so let's switch on over to Tanton's wreckage here. Ooh, he is in one of these cockpits here. Let's EVA Tanton. Alright, Tanton. You need to go. Go up a little bit and over. Iron Lion Brian, welcome! Merry Kerbmas to you. You know, that's Kerbmas, you know, the day where everybody receives Kerbal Space Program's 1.0 update. Welcome to the stream. We are rescuing Tanton here. We got within the physics loading distance of his little cockpit. And now we're just jetpacking him on over to the loaded Hun Lost Crew rescue ship, named after one of my lucky followers that won an earlier Nightbot drawing. Hopefully we'll be able to do more of those tonight. By hopefully, I mean we definitely will. I seem to have gotten a little disoriented. I want to... No, we're kind of not going... There we go. Kind of got a little lost there. You don't get any nav ball assistance when you're on a Kerbal, so it's flying is a bit more difficult, but as long as that distance the cruise ship is going down, and we can kind of tell what the relative motion is like, then we're doing it well. Yeah, I'm having a hard time myself, Ranger. I'll be right honest with you. I am having a hard time myself. In fact, the re-entry part of this craft has not been tested before. I have no idea how this will behave. I'm having a tough time keeping my heat shield into the plasma stream, or into the airflow, or however you want to call it. It likes to flip over and turn into a lawn dart with the pointed end down, and when the pointed end is down into the plasma, into the fire, it blows up, killing anybody inside it. That's why I'm using this other module. Because I have no idea how it behaves in the airstream either, but I'm hoping it won't flip forward and kill everybody. Zabroxy, welcome! There's got to be something funky. Like, I'm sure if there's a legit aerodynamical reason why that, I call it lawn darting, while the pointed end of that Mark 1 capsule points down instead of the opposite way like you would expect it. Because it used to be that if you turned off SAS and just let your capsule drift down to the ground, the heat shield side would naturally face into the wind and it would burn off the heat shield. But it seems to do the exact opposite of that these days. Now, I don't know why that icon there disappeared. Kinda want it. I want to see the distance, man. Okay, well, I can keep my mouse over it. There we go. You jetpacked over 1 kilometer to get here, Tanton, but you are here. Good job. Consider yourself possibly rescued. Again, we were kind of talking about how we don't know if he'll actually be able to get home from this, but, you know, we'll work it out. Grab. Where was the grab? They also changed the... Okay, the B is for board now, which... Okay, so... Tanton is safely aboard the capsule. Let's see, what does this say here? Tanton Kerman was added. He's been added to the space program crew. We got the part of the contract where we just need to pick him up. We don't need to specify his unset target. C. Mason, welcome! We have just rescued Tanton Kerman. Maybe, perhaps rescued, I should say. We don't know if this craft is going to make it back. They've got new atmospheric heating. This is totally untested, and the other capsule was giving me trouble. So we're going to see how this one behaves. Now, I would like to show off what a cool guy I am. And try to get him back by going right back to the Space Center. And there used to be... I was hitting the wrong thing. Okay. Add maneuver. And we can go retrograde. It used to be that if you start burning over the desert, and you bring your orbit, if you're anywhere near 100 kilometers in orbit around Kerbin, you could bring your orbit down right around here on the island. Use the island as like a landmark, and as long as you start burning over the desert mountains here, like here's the desert mountains, you started your burn right over there-ish. You can usually get pretty reasonably close to the Space Center doing this. So let's try to bring them back right to the Space Center, if we can. Let's point ourselves. Oh, what? I don't even know what kind of Kerbal Tanton is. I don't think he's a pilot. All right, point ourselves at the maneuver node. What was that key to warp right to maneuver node? That was a key, right? Warp to next maneuver. Let's see what that does. It's a 6-second burn, so we really only need to start it within 3 seconds, so that's fine. And now we can actually watch the ship. See, this is what the good thing is that you're not piloting so much from the map screen anymore. Even in stock Kerbal Space Program, you don't need... Okay, it goes right to the maneuver node. Actually, it goes to a minute before. That is slick. Okay, so it's a minute before the maneuver node. We can time accelerate a little bit more manually here. And so, 6-second burn. We should start at T-minus 3 seconds. And then we hit the punch it button, the Z key. We bring it down. I'll read your comment here in a second, Ranger. We're in the middle of hopefully bringing this guy back home. That was way not the... Oh, that's because the planet rotated. Scourge, you silly pants. forgot that the planet can rotate. Well, let's see if we can get rid of this. Get our orbit back on track. We need to get the orbit to go into the ocean right about at where this island is. And bonk. That's close enough. Okay, let's read your comment here, Ranger. Actually, let's flip this around first. We don't need this so much anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. And that exposes the heat shield we have under here. And when we hit the parachutes, these fairings will pop off, and there's parachutes under there as well. We're going to go ahead and keep this centered on the... Okay, let's go ahead. Now my rocket, I could get a good flight in, never getting into orbit, but the re-entry was killing. I would survive the fire, but as soon as I got through it, it would flip, and I would speed up so fast it would go faster than my ship could handle. Yeah, I'm having pretty much the same problem, the same multitude of problems. It usually doesn't, it starts flipping out, and either it burns up because it flips out because the, here, let's time accelerate. We're taking a while. Yeah. Alright. So here we go. We've re-entered the atmosphere. This should be a pretty... Whoa. No. We need the... Don't try to adjust in... I really need to get those better probes unlocked so that I can just tell the thing to say, hey, you should be pointing yourself towards the retrograde marker. But hopefully, this is my first time using this particular pod. Well, it's my first time using this particular pod in the release build. How about that? And hopefully it won't have that flipping out problem. We can keep the heat shield in the direction of the airstream, plasma stream, whatever you want to call it. Cole8504, welcome! Okay, let's go ahead and turn off time warp so that we can... We might need to do some piloting of this. Okay, so the heat shield is heating up. I love the graphical effects. Much better than before. We can IVA this. Looks pretty cool. Looks kind of like those cockpits in Elite Dangerous. I'm liking the art style on that. Let's make sure we stay pointed retrograde. Okay, the camera's starting to shake. We're gonna miss... yeah, we're gonna miss... Kerbal Space Center, so that's okay. As long as we get on the same continent, the recovery price is pretty alright. Sir Renato, welcome! Okay. Our ablator is burning off. We're not flipping out like we usually do, which I take as an enormous positive. But I don't know how those parachutes, the radial parachutes, are coming up. Okay. Still point ourselves retrograde. Keep everything pointed retrograde. Keep the SAS on just in case we want to flip out. We don't seem to. We want to. But I love the new camera shake. That really adds, I think, a lot of theme to this. Holy moly, we are burning through that ablative plating. Oh my goodness. Is this thing gonna come down? Oh my. Okay, the fire's out, pretty much. Now we're just kind of going hypersonic. I think we're good to deploy the parachutes now, actually. Something blew up. No, separation of T. Nothing blew up. It was just a weird sound. Okay, fairings deployed. All parachutes out. It came to kind of an abrupt stop. We can turn off the SAS now. Oh, good. This capsule is much better. It tends toward the bottom. See, the other one, the Mark I capsule, that's actually like a rocket part instead of a spaceplane part. We would deploy these radial parachutes and the parachute in the tip, and yet for some reason it would still spin around and point downward. I don't know what is up with that behavior, but this seems to be working all right. Let's time accelerate. We don't need to watch this. Okay. Looks like this was a successful recovery mission. Excellent. I am right pleased with that. See if we can get better. You know, there's a good angle. This is a beautiful game, even without the clouds and the special visual effects. Which, of course, I'm sure over the coming days I will install as they update, but not today because everything is... Okay, I like how the parachutes do take time to open now. And I also like how we can have physics warp on and they not flip off. Hey, Volca 7G, welcome. Merry Kerbmas to you. Release day, it's been great. We just rescued our first successful Tanton Kerman. And this is actually our second, I would like to say this is our second truly successful return with a non-exploding capsule. We've only been to, on this career save, with that new aerodynamics and the new heating, we've only really had 2 successful returns. Where people did not die. So this was good. Let's see if we can do some science. Crew report. Okay, good. EVA. Ah, bonk. They still have that Kerbal getting thrown out of the pod thing. Okay, so... Alright, we got the EVA report from there. We didn't bring any other science because we already mined the science out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. So, alright, let's recover this guy and let's recover the capsule for what it's worth. Yeah, that pod, once you unlock that pod, I would encourage using it because it seemed to tend... It advanced to level 1, whoever he is. Let's see who he is. That's the science building. Dimwad. That is the administration building. One of these buildings has got to be the astronaut complex. He was an engineer. Effects, provides repair skills, repack parachutes. Okay, it tells us... Okay, it tells us what they can do and where they've gotten their points. Okay. Art science return. Oh. Okay. Now these two are tourists, and I need to design a craft that's going to be for them. Okay, we got what we need there, so let's go ahead and we've got to upgrade this building here. 255 parts with basic action grouping, definitely. Okay, we got 61,000 science, or 61,000 science, 61,000 funds. Man, I would love it if we had 61,000 funds. Okay, so let's go ahead and load up our Scourge 13 scuttlebutt test touristy thingy. Okay, now this is a very similar craft as you can tell, but has 2 passenger seats in it. And it has no science, it's just a moneymaker. It can't quite get to orbit like this, but we were trying to use a... trying to use only 30 parts. Watch me totally redesign this thing and it uses something like 28 parts. Let's go ahead and jam some... Oops. We need to be in symmetry mode, and I need to zoom in so that I can see, and I'm sure you will appreciate that too. Okay, see, and this is the genius. I'm liking these new fairings because, oh man, those octos, they look so terrible in the stacks that they were in. But now I can put them into fairings, and it looks pretty okay. I might actually retool this to make it look a little bit better. Where is... There it is. Lower it down a little bit so we can get a better angle on it. Or maybe not. Alright, let's edit the fairing just a little bit. Make it look a little more rockety. There we go. That's a bit better. I like that. It's a little more pointy, a little higher. Okay. So we've got that on there. We got the parachutes. We got the solar panels. We got the deep space motor. Now, the important thing is for these, all they need is to orbit around Kerbin. That is all they really want. So, actually, let's go ahead and get them in here so I don't have to deal with that again. We got action groups now, but we probably won't need them for this particular flight. Okay, now this is what's going to reach to orbit. Now we just need the vehicle to lift them there. He says, as if that's easy to do. Alright, we've got increased weight requirement, weight ability, and increased parts. We can go up to 255 parts. Oh, we are not going to get anywhere near 255 parts. One of the things that's actually being a problem with the part count is that the larger fuel tanks unlock much later in the tech tree, and so I end up having to use, 32 of these instead of 8 instead of 8 of the bigger ones. And it is hard, man. It is hard. That's what I would say. That's probably been the bigger challenge than even the aerodynamics, is trying to fit that 30 part count without access to the larger tanks. It's just ridiculous. Okay, I would say that we don't want any more than that in that stage. Let's go ahead and use the thing with the gimbaling. Gimbaling is pretty important in this new atmospheric model. Okay, now we want to worry about the boosters. Now these boosters, let's make them liquid boosters, and let's put them probably more center. We're going to use... yeah, well, we kind of have to. We can go over the 30 part count limit now. Okay, and we will use... yeah, see, we're at 35 parts right now. This will make it... what makes it hard is that these are heavy capsules. If you only have one Kerbal, it's fine, but when you start doubling them up, crazy town. Okay, we got the bigger LVT-30s with the better power. Let's do the aerodynamic nose cone. Okay, this is the all-around better cone. There we go. I like how it fits the theme of the grayish instead of solid black. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. We need, let's get some stability assist on here. Not tail fins. We want the winglets, that's right. Winglets. Want them to kind of fit. They don't quite look right at that angle. Why not? See, now they look right at that angle, but... okay, whatever. We'll be fine. I'm sure it's just because these are off-center. Okay, it's looking a little bit better now. Not too obsessive compulsive, right? Parachute issues. Oh, come on, man. No. They're in the right stage. We got our heat shield there. Electric charge generated but not used. What are you talking about, but electric charge generated but not used? We got a flippin' probe on there. So they need to do a little bit of more bug checking on this design checklist here. Electric charge generated but storage lacking. Well, that might be true. These do not need to fire. The central one? No, the central one. Yeah, we can collapse that together. We can collapse that together. We need that to fire. Okay, it looks like that's all done there. I bet this could probably go to the moon. I don't think it would land on it, but it could do a moonshot probably. Alright, let's do it. Save it. Launch my own namesake rocket. The only rocket that I will name after myself, hopefully. There was no one in the chat at the time, so I had to name it after myself. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring up our nav ball. What the heck is that? Did I never... I never recovered that. Oh, and the wreckage is still up there. Well, whatever. How's my Kerbal expedition going? It's going all right. We got we're on the launch pad. Haven't gone anywhere yet. I don't know what throttle to be at. Let's just start with. Let's bring it up to 2G. You have to use the G-force meter a lot more now on ascent. Okay, I'm going to throttle all the way up. I'm going to keep it at about 2 Gs. He is on. Nav ball up. We just need to achieve orbit and then come back down. These tourists don't really... They don't really care for much. Now our camera's already shaking a little bit. We can probably throttle down just a tad bit. We don't need to be accelerating quite so much. We may want to start tipping over just a bit. This is a heavier rocket. It has more power and more raw delta V because it's expensive. But it does need... Okay. Might need some more here. And so you can see that the gravity turns take a lot longer to execute. The rocket's a little bit more wobbly as well because it's dealing with a lot of stress. The atmosphere exerts stress on your parts now. And so this nice stiff rockets that we're used to flying in since version 0.23 have now been replaced once again with the Fanoodle rocket. Okay, those fall away. They actually fall away now. That bug has been fixed finally. I'm gonna keep turning this over just a bit. Oh yeah, this rocket. See, once we got past that 30 part limit, we could design real nice rockets that actually do their job. We were having a devil of a time getting this to work with a 30 part limit design here. Okay, and we could definitely start burning this way. We might actually have a bit too much power. This might actually be a bit too much. Don Meisner, welcome. The Lacrian. Yeah, the 30 part limit's a pain in the butt. I definitely would say the new strategy would be to upgrade the VAB before even the launch pad. It used to be back in the other career modes, the launch pad was what was giving me fits with the weight limit, but in this version it was the 30 part limit. Almost 5 weeks to set up my space station. Oh, dang. And then the game updated, right? And you had to start all the way over. Okay, we'll go for a nice 100,000 limit here. Let's point down towards the ground so that we follow the curvature of the planet and add velocity that way. We don't want to pull down our apoapsis like we're doing, but we don't want to just keep exploding it upward. We are already hearing space music. And we're kind of running out now. This rocket, if it's flown a little more properly, it could have gone a lot further than it did ultimately. Okay, we are out of the atmosphere, so I should not be worried too much. I should be worried about is getting a crazy high orbit that I can't finish off. We can go ahead and keep it in the brown a little bit. We don't want the altitude to fall too much, but we do want to get as close to orbital velocity as possible. About 2,300 kilometers per second. 2.3 kilometers per second. Man, 23 kilometers per second! Yeah, I think that's a little bit too fast, 23 kilometers. Just a wee bit. Deleted KSP for a week. Oh, man. Yeah, I would say the new strategy should... in my mind, if I had this career to do over again, like if I was immediately going to start over tomorrow, which I wouldn't because that would be crazy, I would say that what you need to do is you need to prioritize upgrading the VAB. The 30 part count limit's more meaningful now that we don't have all those pretty parts to deal with. And I'm being very obsessive compulsive with the way that that maneuver node was set up. I don't know why. I get to talking, and then when I'm talking, I just become very obsessive compulsive. Okay. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Yep. Yeah, that's good enough. About 1.1 kilometers between the two. Pretty circular to me. Alright, very circular orbit. Our electric charge is holding steady at 110. We're doing pretty well. We've achieved their itineraries. Let's see what this is. Suborbital flight complete. We got a couple thousand for that. Ferry 2 tourists to their destinations. We got a few thousand for that. Now, if we return them safely, that's when we get the big bucks. You get the big bucks for returning them safely. I don't know how when they say return, I'm assuming they just mean land anywhere on Kerman. But, and this is not really a true maneuver node. This is just an approximate, just to see how much it takes to come down. Fair number at Delta V. Okay, let's go ahead and time warp around. We'll do it manual style. I know watching the map screen isn't the best necessarily, but I do want to make sure that we get the terrain in the right spot. I want to come down as close to the KS. I used to be able to reliably come down close to KSC. I guess we hit the same continent last time, so, you know, what am I complaining about? But I want to see if we can hit the... Let's see if we can hit the frickin' VAB. That'll always be the dream, right? Okay, we need to orientate ourselves. Retrograde. We can delete the maneuver node. It's not important anymore. What is important is where our orbit intersects the globe. Orden Cruiser is still in the descending orbit. Rose Warrior, welcome back. Credit denied, welcome as well. We are completing our tourist contract after we upgraded the VAB. We don't have to deal with that infuriating 30-part limit anymore. Now we can have a 32-part rocket. That does just fine. Alright, and then I think we'll actually tackle landing on the moon next. That should be... well, with the new aerodynamics, should be alright. We already did a successful moon well, okay. Successful meaning we got some science back from a moon flyby. We done exploded the Kerbal capsule. Luckily, there wasn't a Kerbal in it at the time. In fact, I'm so chicken crap that I might actually decide to send a drone to the moon. Okay, that should be enough. We should be able to get close to the Space Center with that. Go ahead and get rid of that. Keep this pointed to retrograde. We shall return. Keep it pointed to retrograde. I can't wait until we unlock that better probe that will just keep things pointed. I don't have to manually readjust it every little whip stitch. Ugh. Yeah, I know it, Vulcus. Okay, we might actually make it this time. We might actually get reasonably close to KSC. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fine controls. There we go. Uh-oh. Hello there, little guy. I'll probably reclaim you at some point when I remember. Okay, here we are. While we have, we need to get the resources up so we can see the ablation. Okay. Gotta make sure that it's facing... Oh, yes, so that marker was just about right. We're coming in for a nice descent over KSC. Over KSC or just past it. Probably going to end up being just past it. The atmosphere is not slowing me down as much as it used to. So we're flying right over it now. It is not safe to deploy the chutes just yet. Yeah, we're gonna go right past it. Goodbye, KSC. Wave hello to everybody. Or wave goodbye, however this landing turns out. We are starting to lose our heat shield's integrity. But that's okay, that's what it's there for. Yeah, so the atmosphere does not flow it. It does not slow us down as much as it used to. Definitely not. Okay. Alright, I think it is time to deploy the chutes once we get subsonic here. Okay, we're subsonic enough. or sonic enough. Okay, we can turn off the SAS that points downward. Excellent. Yeah, we made some pretty big bucks. We ended up, let's see, how far away were we? Okay, so... that's not too bad. You can still see the buildings of the KSC. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. The key is to keep descending from the same altitude and making little landmarks on the map for where you need to put your orbit into the globe. That way you can descend where you want to. Yeah, that overzealous Nightbot. Okay, and it's descending at a nice leisurely 4.2 meters per second. Very successful return here. That's good. I like this new. I'm going to start using these over the Mark 1 pod and the Mark 1 cockpit, because those were giving me real problems wanting to flip around in the airstream on the return. These don't seem to have that issue. All right, and they're underwater. Of course, it doesn't look any different underwater. Okay, recover the vessel, and this is when we get our payday. Baseballer, welcome. Oh no, it exploded. I'm sorry there, Vulcus. We got some science for that for some reason. Okay, we got our money back, and we made some money. Good. 2 XP gained. They advanced to, like, what, level 1 tourist? What does that mean? They're not part of the space program. Yeah, see, they're gone now. Oh, let's see what we got here. What we need is a level 1 scientist. So, Bob, you're probably going up on our moon mission, actually. You'll be the first Kerbal on the moon, Bob. Alright, so we got that. And Ferry 2 tourists, we got that. Okay, good. We made some money. I think we made like $10,000 in profit. Because that was a very expensive launch. Orbit the moon. I mean, that's reasonable. Perform temperature scans of the moon. Okay, there is a survey contracts. I think they removed the ones for Kerman. Which, you know, they add all this effort to, oh, I forgot to get science data. And this guy, he's gonna be up in orbit for a while. This guy I could have done. We'll do it next contract. Okay, so... well, you know, since the physics of the game are so different, let's go ahead and be modest. Let's go ahead and go for an orbit of the moon. Perform temperature scans of the moon. I don't want to do that yet. You have to get pretty close to the ground. I wonder if we can see... we haven't gotten any satellite contracts yet. Kind of unusual. Wait. No. Okay. See, this is the issue. That these areas to do the temperature scans, like, there is no orbit I can really give myself. Well, I mean, we could do a polar orbit. A very close polar orbit. And adjust our altitude accordingly. And eventually we'll pass through all those points. Maybe we'll save a mission like that for when we actually have the satellite scanning parts. Rather than just sending up a Stay-Putnik with thermostats on them. And why did I click on the VAB? We're not quite ready planning our flight yet. If only NASA could prop it like this. I know, right? Let's see. Ferry 2 tourists safely to their destination. Orbit around Kerman, fly by the moon, suborbital flight. Flight on Kerman, fly by Minmus. That's kind of... That is a lot of money, but I'd rather just explore the moon. So, rescue Jolly, who is stranded in low Kerman orbit, return her safely to Kerman. She might be a scientist. Wish they would tell you. Rescue Sally, she's in low orbit. Okay. So I can do an orbit of the moon. Science data from space around the moon. That's another contract. I have an orbit the moon. Science data from space around the moon. And we're going to be wrapping up. We're not going to take this contract yet. I'm trying to milk it. I'm milking the moon. Milking the moon. Okay. I think that's what we'll do for now. So we're doing a flight to the moon. Got to do a sciencey flight. Now, there is a capsule that I have designed that I like. It just needs a couple of tweaks. So let's load our legal action. I think it was a legal action. No, legal action lunar moonshot. The original lunar moonshot. Now we need to do some modifications here. First of all, these batteries. Let's get rid of this. This pod has been nothing but trouble for me. So we're going to pull this off. I'm going to change the root part real quick so I don't have to undo all my work. Okay. Pull this off. Oop. Pull this off. Oop. Pull this off. Pull that off. Go ahead and jam one of those on there. And then we'll jam a probe. Jamming probes and things. Actually, what we need to do is we need to put a fairing on first. And then we just kind of bull snot a fairing on there so we can get the Probodyne Octo on there. Because we're going to bring a scientist. And we need to edit the fairing so it's a little more reasonable. Okay. And that's a little fat. Fairing, add the fairing. There we go. A little pointy. Okay, so now we've got something that has autopilot we can take. Let's go ahead and put a scientist Kerbal in there. Bob. We need to level him up. So we'll go ahead and put him on there. It needs... Now, the service bay protects the science experiments from overheating. Now, we've always lost this thing. I have no idea how we would save that. Now, got parachutes in there. I was terrified that the parachutes would burn up, but it's actually the batteries that probably would. So let's go ahead and put the parachutes on the side of the capsule, and we'll jam the batteries in there. Yeah, and that way they won't burn up. They're pretty... Just trying to see what we can put in here. Actually, there is a thermostat in here, and I don't know if the batteries are really that important. Let's see if we can twist this around. There we go. We don't need these symmetried. Turn the symmetry off. Center it, or try to. You know, as best as we can with the crazy angles we're given. I'm liking how that's looking. I like how that looks. Close it. So we got all the major experiments. We'll do one goo capsule be around Kerman for the contract. Ooh, Ew, that's rough, Vulcus. Ew. Make sure to have a memorial service at the flagpole for them. Okay, that's that. There, those are pretty contained, and there we got our ablative shielding, also known as our heat shield. Okay. Now the pod. I declare the pod complete in terms of what it can do. So now we just need a way to get this to orbit the moon. And I think that with rather few modifications... Okay, so we need a decoupler. Derp. Derp-a-derp-a-derp. Okay, decoupler. We desperately need science to unlock the better fuel tanks. Go ahead and put 3 fuel tanks on there. I don't know if that really helps, but probably doesn't. Oh yeah, I need need to remember the new root part. Let's reroute this here for a second. Make sure it's the probe core, so that it flies from the probe core. Okay. Yeah, so this is looking like a decent mooner transfer vehicle. Let's go ahead and jam. Oops, why do I keep doing that? Jam one of these in here. Oh, I have a contract to test a Rockamex brand decoupler. Why don't I just do that? It'll be my first stage. You have made the memorial. Excellent. You are a compassionate space program director. Ah, I keep doing that. Wrong root part. Okay, now we need even more fuel tanks. We need the liquid engine on. Now, see, this is going to be the rub here. I need to have the bigger engine, because I'm pretty sure the other one won't have the power to do anything. But we need gimbaling because it'll be too high in the atmosphere. Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it. This is probably reaching the limits of what this LVT-45 can do just by looking at this rocket so far. Okay, so this needs to be... okay, we'll have the liquid boosters. And we'll put them sort of the center. It'll be more or less like the rocket we had before, only hopefully it'll have a little bit more fuel. I don't even think it needs a little... That other rocket still seemed to have a lot of fuel in it. Now, why are you... You're off-center. Now you're on-center. This is a $30,000 rocket for a $60,000 mission. I guess we're doubling our investment. I can't complain. Can't complain about doubling your investment. That's a silly complaint, Scourge. Shut up. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Well, that's really creative. I don't know if I would have done that. That's cool, Vulcus. Okay, I think... Now, speaking of naming things, this can no longer be the legal action lunar shot. This is the... Don't need caps lock right now. This is the Nightbot. Get off your duff. This is the Vulcus 7G. The Vulcus 7G science machine. Let's see. Let's go here. Rest in peace, crew of the... What was your station's name? Why did you have to delete all the things he said? Nah, you didn't have his name for your space station. The Lacrian. Crew of the Lacrian. The Vulcus 7G Lacrian. Nope. Oh. You can't put quotes in there. Lacrian. Let's put apostrophes. Whatever. Focus 7G, Lacrian Science Machine. Okay, so that should all be good, right? We got these, we got those. That fires when those release. That fires when those release. That releases, and that, yes. Let's see, what are the concerns? Unused monopropellant. Nope. I love that new warning on there, though. Electricity stored, but not generated. What are you talking about? Oh, I don't have the silly panels on there. Good call, good call, game. Good call. Alright. Actually, I need to offset these. I don't like them hanging out there like that. They'll probably get plasma stream sniped. That's what I'm going to call things that... Okay, there we go. They're a little more flush now. Alright, let's save it. Any other... It's going to be used by the Octo, good sir. These parts generate a char, lacking parts in command pods need some, but there will probably be overflow. Okay, well, that's fine. Overflow is fine. Okay, I think the staging is looking alright. Now let's just hope it flies. Save it, and let's launch it. Okay, hit T. Bring up our nav ball. We might need to time accelerate. I'm going to go straight from the launch pad to Moon. So let's see, if I launch from here, our Apple apps will be out there-ish. Okay, that's fine. And it's in the morning time. I don't know why it's 3 hours up, but whatever. Okay, let's do it to it. Do we need all that thrust? Maybe. Who knows? Yes, we need all of it. Okay, but this is good. This is good. Hey, Bob. Bob the scientist doing some science around the moon. Making sure Kerbal kind has all the science it can get. Oh, I forgot to test the Rocco Max brand decoupler. Oh well, whatever. Alright, ooh. There goes our supersonic airspeed effects. Probably going a little bit too quickly. You can probably throttle down a little bit, I would say. And we can start pitching over just ever so slightly. Just ever so slightly. Merton Esper, welcome back. Your prototype torpedoes work. Excellent. You shall soon dominate all of Kerbal. All hail the mighty warlord Vulcus. Here I am, just trying my best to manage a civilian Kerbal Space Program. There's somebody out there just preparing for war. My poor planet's gonna get eaten alive. Ah, I had to refresh to get chat back. Ah, okay. Well, anyway, welcome back to chat then, Merton. Okay. I would say the launch is going pretty okay, except we really need to start heading towards the horizon line. We are out of the... we were out of the atmosphere. I was too busy chatting and not busy... Too busy chattering, not enough busy flyering. You also have a weird tilt in our orbit, or is that just a trick of perspective? It's just a trick of perspective. In any case. Alright, Bob. You know what? We haven't actually left any debris in Kerbin's orbit. That's a pretty good accomplishment for me. Usually I'm just like some kind of interplanetary garbage man. By which I mean the kind of guy that leaves garbage around. That's cool, Vulcus. Turn-based warfare, that's neat. Okay. The apoapsis doesn't really matter. I did not follow a very efficient ascent profile. I kind of messed that up. But I'm sure this has plenty of delta V to get to orbit and whatnot. Get to lunar orbit, that is. 0.9 degrees off center. What are you gonna do? Well, we're getting there. Oh, we need to do some. Oh, we need to do some space high space Kerbin science. That's right. I can't do my science right here. All right, come on. Oh, anything's good with practice. The only reason why I'm as successful as I am right now is because I have 700 hours in this, and that new aerodynamic model, quite honestly, it is more fun than it's ever been. I love that new aerodynamic model, simply because it adds an element of unpredictability to the game that used to be you could just set up a collision with a planet and know you'd be okay. And I critically misjudged where the moon would be. Still pretty sure we have enough fuel to get an orbit. If not, we might have to do a moonshot. That's okay. How much fuel do we have left? Oh, we've got plenty. Several hundred liters. Trick is going to be... See, what happened is that the inefficient ascent I had... Oh, that guy's capsule is going to bother me until I get rid of it. I have to save him at some point. We might have to wait until we have, like, have nuclear engines or something. Or a very lightweight pod. Oh yeah, I critically misjudged where the moon would be. Oopsie poopsies. Alright, that was a simulation. And we don't actually need to go back to vehicle assembly. What we need to do is I just need to relaunch it. Okay, so we need to establish orbit. We need to do a standard moon. Whoa! Where the heck are we? That's a new camera angle. Okay. And get our resources up there. Throttle it up. I'm the only reason why I'm doing it's good because I got 700 hours. You know. Trying to keep my thrust between 1G and 2G, so I'm going to keep throttling down so that I don't get above 2Gs. That's what really can make this thing go wonkified. We'll start our gravity turn now too. Got a really, I'm glad that we got this new aerodynamic model encourages us to look at this meter here. That's just about where we want it to be. Or, you want to use all the information that the game gives you. And we are high up enough now that we can probably turn just a bit more aggressively. This ascent is going much better, I would say. Okay, and this engine, it does have its work cut out for it. A little bit less powerful. We're already going pretty fast. Let's see, what is our apoapsis? We are well out of the atmosphere. Need to turn a little bit more so that we are pointing more and more towards the horizon line. Actually, I need to get a better feeling of the feel for the aerodynamics. I'm getting a little bit better all the time, but okay, that's good. I'll try as close as we can get to a 100-kilometer parking orbit. But we're already out in space. Space music is playing. I have Prison Architect, and I've been wanting to stream it for quite some time, and I know it recently updated as well. One of these days I'll get into it. Probably as the hype burns down about Kerbal Space Program, I would like to stream Kerbal Space Program 1.0 and its subsequent updates all summer. But have a regular schedule once again, where it's truly regular in terms of my streaming and having Kerbal Space Program on the channel. Those are really the days. Oop. Here we go. Still can't quite achieve orbit with our second stage. Generally, a good moon mission, you can achieve orbit with the orbit around Kerman with the second stage, and probably even use at least part of that stage to get to the moon, to do your transfer burn to the moon. But I haven't been able to do that lately. Okay, I'm just worried about getting an orbit around Kerman for right now. Gonna do a planned. Still, I think we had just a little bit too much fuel for these engines to handle. Okay. And we have 100-kilometer apoapsis, and we're getting closer to orbital velocity. Don't want our apoapsis to be going down. Do, however, want it to be remaining roughly the same. Keep it back at 100 kilometers. And we're getting close to orbital velocity now. At 2,300 kilometers. 2,300 kilometers, wow. You need to play Homeworld again. Yes, I agree. More Homeworld. And it's just so difficult to get games, though, for multiplayer on those. It is definitely much more active on the weekends. I look every weekend, but it still takes just a bit too long to get a match going. Okay. You only need 50 meters per second to get an orbit. And we're about 100 meters more 100 liters of fuel more efficient, and I went right past the node, didn't I? Yep, I sure did. That's alright. We'll end up getting something that's similar to what I was looking for. And as long as both of them are above 100 kilometers. Yeah, that's fine. That way we don't have to deal with time warp issues. Okay. We don't want the game slowing down because of time warp. Alright, turn SAS off. Save our battery power, but we have solar panels, so we don't have to worry too much about that now. Okay. Go ahead. I don't know why I would set the moon as a target. Honestly. And maneuver. This is going to be a nice... Maybe not. Okay. That's a pretty decent encounter there. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, wow, we got that set up. That was probably the easiest maneuver node setup for a Mooner transfer I've had in a while. Certainly since 1.0. Okay. Let's see, it's going to be about a 2-minute burn. We want to start about a minute before the node. We'll go ahead and warp out to here, just eyeballing it. And go. At least we've got our solar panels in the light, keeping that probe powered because that's the only thing that Bob there has to keep his rocket stable. Node and oops, Welch did a little bit, but that's okay. Poor Welches. I keep using their name as a pejorative. You can't use your OP Vagrant Corvettes again? Ah, yeah, because they are affected by grav wells now. I'm hoping that they'll release a balance patch for that at some point. Homeworld remastered. I didn't realize we played together. I don't know. I played so many people. That is a good game. I love it. I love strategy games in general too, and I like space games in general. And it's a strategy space game. It is right up my alley. It's just such a shame that it had so many technical issues that people kind of stopped playing the multiplayer. I mean, you can still find a game if you are committed to sitting there for about 20 minutes. But it's darn hard. Oh well, whatevers. We'll arrange some kind of tie or match or something. Okay, let's talking more flying. Let's see if we can't get this. Right on the money. I know the maneuver node markers are drifting, but that's okay. That's, whoops, not what's important. What is important is establishing orbit, which I think we'll be able to do just fine. Okay. Boink. I want to see if I can get as close as possible. Well, actually, what I need to do is... Well, I need to establish orbit. But the closer we are... To, 22 kilometers is fine. It's more than fine. I don't know why I'm going to be obsessive-compulsive about it. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's turn off SAS. Let's quick save it. I know I just saw the autosave go by, but... let's warp out to here. And do some science. We need high space science around Kerman yet. Okay. I need to also delete that superfluous capsule that's just floating around. Okay, time warp complete. See Bob get the fudge out. Do an EVA report in space high over Kerman. Good, good, good. B for board. Do a crew report. 7 science. Let's do a goo container. Observe the mystery goo. Good, good, good. Can we do a temperature? Yes, we can. Okay. Alright. Let's wait for the, let's wait for the materials bay until we're closer. Alright, so let's quick save it, and, time warp to the moon encounter. Hello, moon. We're coming to see you. Howdy hoo, Shadowfang, welcome! Your boxes launch half the tools. Oh, okay. Cool. Are we in... Nope, not quite there yet. Time accelerate the rest of the way. Okay, good. Here we are in the moon's sphere of influence. Do the materials bay. 50 science. Good. And, did we do a goo out here? I think we did a goo. Yeah, we did do a goo, so reset that, please. Did we do a temperature scan out here? I don't think so. Did we do an EVA report? Probably. Yes, we did. Did we do a crew report? That's the important thing to know. Did we do a crew report? No, I don't want to overwrite the crew report. Okay. We need to take out the data, take data, store data. All items stored. Board it. Crew report. Yeah, we did that already. Okay. So let's go ahead and EVA. We gotta take the data out of the thermometer. At least. Okay. Alright. Science data! Oops, I bumped the capsule. Take the data. Okay, doing science. For the science! What's new in the world of Kerbals? So many things, Shadowfang. We got, oh gosh, where do I start? We got re-entry heating, we've got new aerodynamics, we've got new contracts, new Kerbals, female Kerbals, new parts, new, everything new. It's amazing. Okay, did we do a temperature scan of the moon? Yes, we did. Okay. So really, now what we need to do is establish orbit around the moon and get science from around the moon. Okay, hold on. I need to get a maneuver node. Add maneuver. And actually, we just need, like, the smallest orbit. We don't even need that much. 17 and 23. 26 and 18. 25 and 18. That's fine. At some point, it's gonna whoop. There we go. That's a good circular low orbit. Okay. And turn on our stability assist. We don't even need that low in orbit, I don't think. But we'll go for it. Okay. Yep. No more deadly re-entry mod. I'm sure deadly re-entry will add more effects. As far as I know, G-force effects are not deadly, which is the case in deadly re-entry. But it's not the case in stock. But re-entry, yeah, re-entry heating can blow things up. I lost Jebediah once already. Well, I ended up reverting the flight on accident, so that I didn't actually lose Jebediah. But now we're using Valentina because Jebediah technically died. So we're using Valentina as our pilot now. Okay, why would I slow down the time warp? Oh, it's because the game slowed it down for me. I still wish we could customize that aspect of the game. What time warp levels were appropriate for what altitudes. That would be great. Pure Effects, welcome. Okay, 30-second burn. We'll hit the punch it button right at 15. We really only need an orbit. Once we get captured here, bonk, we're in orbit. We've satisfied the contract, got our 6 science. That is actually a pretty pitiful payout. We don't need to complete the rest of the node. Buddy. We can log temperature. Nope. We get everything we needed. Go ahead and observe another mystery goo here. And we do a crew report? Just trying to be thorough. EVA. Did we do an EVA report? No, we didn't. Not from there. Okay, escape. There we go. Oh, I said space. Let go. R. And then, okay, we need to collect all the science-y data now. Okay, all the science-y data. Come on. Collect data. Move the data. And scientists can now restore collect data. Did we get a temperature scan? I forget. I don't think we did we? So I can actually reset those as a scientist. I did not realize that. Whoa, we kind of jetpacked a little bit away there, Bob. Stop being silly. I clicked outside the screen. Oh god. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Select. No, not reset. Ah. Oh well. Hope that wasn't the good science data one. Alright, and log temperature. Yeah, we already did that. Alright. We've got all the science data. We have a new EVA report. Nope. Try to see if we can do one more EVA. Abernathy, welcome. Jebediah Christ, our Lord and Savior, reverted the 3rd day after his death. No, it really was an accident, though. I was like, well, I didn't design... I was in the middle of saying, too, I was like, well, I didn't design the rocket right, and Jebediah died. Oh, well. Then, out of a force of habit, because I've been failing so much, I clicked the revert flight button. I wanted to live with that decision as a legitimate gameplay happening. But, I messed it up. I messed even that up. Okay, we're getting all kinds of good science there. Alright. B for board. Well, alright, time to close the service module. I don't trust the service module to stay alive during re-entry, but, you know, we'll see, we'll see. Well... Can we get out of here? Yes, we can. How fortuitous. We don't want to be coming in that steep. I think coming in at like 35,000 meters is more than enough. There we go. Except this maneuver node needs to be like over here. Oh, the geometry of that is much different. Oh boy. Uh-oh. No! What am I doing? I am adding ridiculous velocity. Okay, add maneuver. We should have more than enough fuel for this, though. Okay, we're just going too fast. We're going to escape. Going to escape Kerbin. Oh, what are we doing? Okay, wow, wow, wow. Did I mess this up or something? Possible. Always possible. Okay, maybe I just need to add at a different time in the orbit. This really elliptical orbit was not a good idea. May not get home. Actually, we would get home. Like we've got plenty of delta V in this thing. Probably enough to actually land on the moon. If we had landing legs. Now, hold on, we could just do that next orbit. Why am I being so persnickety? Yeah, we could just do that next orbit. I don't know what's so ridiculous with me. Why I'm being so redonkulous. We don't really need to play around with the node that much. We just know where to burn and just roughly how much. That's fine enough. It's what you really use those for anyway. Let's see, who joined? Abernathy joined. Okay, we're just gonna warp around here. Alright. And there we go. There you have it. Alright, our burn. I gotta watch it from the map screen because I'm prone to messing it up. But we're going home with some science. Okay, and almost there. Almost there, and cut it. There we go. 35 some. Alright, delete that maneuver node, quick save the game, and let us warp out of here. Engage warp drive. Whoa, we are really close to the moon. And now we are not. Okay. We are flirting so much with landing on the moon, and it's not even funny. We have plenty of delta V in this thing. I'm pretty sure we could land something like this on the moon. Okay. Go warping in now. We don't really care where we land on a mission like this. Much as I would like to impress everyone by going right to KSC from the moon, I don't think that'll happen. And holy smokes, we need to get this thing turned around before the atmospheric drag tells us where to put it. I'm going to go ahead and burn up all the fuel in this last part by going retrograde. We need to be going as slow as possible into this because we'll be going really wicked fast. We're going to hit the engine there. And then we'll detach our transfer stage. And then deploy the chutes once the fireworks are over. Now we'll survive re-entry. That is the big question, Ranger. That is the big question. Will this survive re-entry? And that is a very valid... Oh, whoa. Okay. Oh, it's already... Oh, crud. We're already getting... Good thing we have the engine on. We might be in trouble. Here's the thing, though. It is helping us slow down a lot, actually. I'm waiting for this engine to overheat, though. Right-click on the parts. They actually, it doesn't show specific impulse, rust, that kind of stuff, but... Yeah, we're gonna burn every last fuel in this puppy. Holy crud. Alright, that's just going to be left to its own devices. The heat shield is deployed. Everything that's important is behind the heat shield. And we're starting to get that wobbling issue. I'm fighting it right now. Maybe it's the open bay doors of the science module there. Of the materials bay, rather. I don't know why that didn't deploy. I had to right-click it. Alright, we can turn off the SAS. And we returned without losing anything. Good thing we did have the science stored in the capsule as a safety measure, though. Which, you know, is always a good decision, I feel. Alright, we can time accelerate this down now. That was an eventful return. That was good. We only used about 30 units of heat shield, whatever that means. So that was good. From orbit around the moon all the way back. This is the pod to use, that other pod with the pointy bit. The Mark I pod. It was not doing well. Danger! Science stuff! I never noticed that before. I probably noticed it like half a dozen times, but... Yeah, did we lose anything? No, it just tell me that this splashed down hard and splashed down, splashed down, splashed down. Okay. So we didn't actually lose anything on the actual ship. This is as fast as we can warp, so... Well, that's good. And I am quite happy with this design. It's the trick is using this module here. A little bit. It's heavier than the Mark I pod by far, but it does have the performance. It doesn't make the thing flip out too much. Ow. Crew report? No, I don't want to overwrite a crew report. Take data and store data. Crew report. Okay. B for board. Do we have a crew report? No, we don't. Amazing. We probably don't have a crew report from the water itself. Nope, we don't. Okay, well that was useful. Do we have a temperature scan? Here, let's board. Do we have a temperature scan? Oh yeah, service module. Everything's flooded, I'm sure. Log temperature. No, we didn't have one of those either. Okay, well, we got some science then that we didn't have before. Excellent. Completing our science log. Okay. We're getting there. 175 science earned. That's pretty decent for a flight to the moon. That was that short. Oh, we got a 250,000 science, or 250,000 funds again. Our crew advanced to level 1. Excellent. Let's see what that makes him allows him to do. I'm not familiar. Okay, so it increases vessel science return. Okay. Okay, and Bill Kerman can't do anything yet, so we need to send him up on the next flight to wherever. Yes. Tanton Kerman. He can repack parachutes. He needs to be level 1 to do that. We need to train up Bill. We only have one scientist though, and that's Bob. Why would I click on that? I'm just such a habit of needing to restart that I keep clicking on the VAB instead of the new contract. New contracts. Position, okay, finally we got the satellite contracts. No, that's not really worth our time. Suborbital flight, that's not really worth our time. Perform temperature scans of Kerbin. Scott's greatness. Always love those. Won't try to read anything sexual into that. And now I got you thinking about it. Whoa! Well, that's a pretty easy satellite contract there. That satellite contract's kind of wonky. You know, what are you gonna do? Wow, temperature scans of Kerbin. Holy crud. That is something. Anything around Minmus? No, nothing around Minmus yet. Okay, land on the moon. Yeah, see, we're still, still able to milk the system. Okay, so position a satellite. We don't need a ferry for tourists. What's this? It's like a grand tour of the Kerbal system here. So orbit around the moon, flyby, orbit, orbital fly of the moon, orbit around the moon, flyby Minmus, flyby Minmus. That would be quite the trip. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take land on the moon. That is the last thing that we have to do for the moon contract, too. So let's go ahead and accept explore the moon. Active contracts. Rescue Lodkey. Okay, yeah, that's... that rendezvous is pretty silly. We'll have to wait for better technology for that. Okay. And now, I need to actually use the restroom. The stream is not going to stop, but I am going to use the restroom. Cobalt Commando, welcome to the stream. Merry Kerbmas. I need to take a restroom break. We will be right back. Let's go ahead and listen to some epic music mix while I go to the restroom. It won't be more than a couple minutes. Stream is not going down or anything. Just going to take a quick bathroom break. Alright, epic music, epic music. There we go. How about this? Ah! So loud! There we go. Alright folks, I'll be right back. Gotta take a restroom break. There, let's adjust this to say restroom break. Restroom break. We'll be back in a bit. Feel like a whole new Kerbal. Alright, I am back. Thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it.